Let me speak my piece. It's for all my dogs, coming straight off the leash. She kill them all like the Reaper. I need a girl like Nikki. She jumping out the gym on all them hoes. Shorty came straight out the bleachers. Hey, she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, she came through with the combo. Cause shorty too lavish. Hey, that girl she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, look, she came straight with the combo. Hey, look, let me talk my talk. Let me speak my piece. It's for all my dogs, coming straight off the leash. She kill them all like the Reaper. I need a girl like Nikki. She jumping out the gym on all them hoes. Shorty came straight out the bleachers. Hey, she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, she came through with the combo. Cause shorty too lavish. Hey, that girl she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, look, she came straight with the combo. Hey, look, let me talk my talk. Let me speak my piece. It's for all my dogs, coming straight off the leash. She kill them all like the Reaper. I need a girl like Nikki. She jumping out the gym on all them hoes. Shorty came straight out the bleachers. Hey, she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, she came through with the combo. Cause shorty too lavish. Hey, that girl she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, look, she came straight with the combo.
Details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space. Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space for the 5th annual Fort Lauderdale Fiesta, featuring new impressions, wet band, and still familiar. Come visit us at thecelebrityfiesta.com for further details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space for the 5th annual Fort Lauderdale Fiesta, featuring new impressions, wet band, and still familiar. Come visit us at thecelebrityfiesta.com for further details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space for the 5th annual Fort Lauderdale Fiesta, featuring new impressions, wet band, and still familiar. Come visit us at thecelebrityfiesta.com for further details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space for the 5th annual Fort Lauderdale Fiesta, featuring new impressions, wet band, and still familiar. Come visit us at thecelebrityfiesta.com for further details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space for the 5th annual Fort Lauderdale Fiesta, featuring new impressions, wet band, and still familiar. Come visit us at thecelebrityfiesta.com for further details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space.
Welcome back, you guys. So this is from the DMV Live with Mika. I'm guessing you all didn't know that based on the fact that we had no sound all this time. Welcome back, though. And I am here with the owners of Delano's Heart LLC. Why do I keep saying closet? You all should have some type of
never been in anyone's closet.
Wait, hold on.
Don't do closet.
I think you all need to open a clothing closet or something. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's in the back of my mind. Or maybe that's a thing. We need to look that up. I'm just saying.
Delano's closet.
I'm just saying. So, okay, tell us a little bit real quick. We were recapping, but I don't want you all to have to go over it all over again. But tell us a little bit about your childhoods, because we're talking about the evolution of Delano's closet. Tell us a little bit.
Delano's closet.
And Delano's closet. We're talking a little bit about Delano's Heart LLC, your company, which is named after your dad, Delano. So tell us a little bit more about your dad, though. You did a little bit in the first place, but we were muted. So give us a little refresher, please.
So, like I said before, when you guys couldn't hear, so me and my father, like I said, we didn't have the best relationship.
Right.
But we didn't have the worst.
Right.
He did what he could.
Yes.
With what he was given.
Yes.
My mom,
still knew you were loved.
I still knew I was loved.
Yeah.
My mom made some mistakes, know, and it hurt his heart.
Right.
And I think it hurt him more, even before my parents were born, their moms knew each other.
Oh, really?
So my parents, okay, so.
You didn't tell us that part.
So my parents actually knew each other since they were babies.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, that's wild.
My mom and my dad were best friends. My mother was kind of like my father's protector.
Mm-hmm.
My father was gay.
Okay.
So he got kind of picked on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like 6'2", tall, slim.
Wow.
Ain't take no shit.
Uh-huh.
So basically they became best friends.
Uh-huh. That's kind of beautiful, though.
My mom was actually the only female my father ever loved. They went out one night for his birthday on December 26th. And my mother said that, yeah, my mom said they went out and they happened to be in the alleyway by Buns. Not Buns, Coconuts.
Okay.
And she said one thing led to another. They were smoking on the side, doing whatever. And she said they had sex one time. And had me.
Delano's heart.
Yes. My mother said she purposely had unprotected sex with
my
heart.
Yeah, I get it now.
So,
I get it.
And from that, they kind of.
She said she purposely did.
Yeah,
so
she
was
said
planning on having a baby.
Yes, she tracked my dad. But growing up, like my mom had her own trials and tribulations that she was dealing with.
Right, as we all unfortunately do.
And they kind of created this horrible bubble with her and my father. Mm-hmm. And she had some choices to make, and it didn't favor my dad.
Okay.
But he still, like I say, he did what he could with what he was dealt, and I just felt like no matter what, his heart was still pure.
Right.
Like he tried to love me as much as he could, but then my father was also dealing with the hatred that people give gay men.
Right. Especially not now.
And not only
talking about a few years ago.
But not only was my dad a gay man, he was a gay cop.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
So dealing with that, and then dealing with
the stigma of it's a lot of stigma.
Certain family members treating you a certain way because of who you are. That includes his mother, his sisters, treating him a certain way. So that kind of didn't help either. And
you grew up seeing all this. Were you aware of all of this as you were growing up?
I kind of saw it when I was younger, and then kind of like how he act. I kind of, I could tell. My grandmother, his mom, always loved me. I will honestly say that it wasn't really until my father passed away that I really saw the ugly side of his sisters, of his mother.
As a result of his passing, you mean that time frame?
It was basically, now he's gone, and you guys are looking at me like, oh, you're around now. But y'all don't know the relationship because you didn't even have a relationship with him. Right. So you don't know what me and my father went through or what we dealt.
Right.
Because how you think I found out that he was sick? How you think I found out about his house? How you think I found out about all these things? He told me.
Right.
But no matter what, my father still had a good heart.
Right.
And I feel like that kind of, when I was, coming up with the name for my catering company, I was bouncing between him and my grandmother. I love my grandmother.
Because, of course, I'm sure she had a lot to do with it.
My mom's mom. I love my grandmother.
Yes, your mom. So your mom's mom raised you, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that is my...
So tell us a little bit about her.
Black Panther.
You got to have a female Black Panther in your life. I'm just saying.
But, I was bouncing between that. My grandmother know how much I love her, but I just feel like my father's name needed to live on through somebody.
Right.
Because it wasn't living through his siblings or his mother.
I think that's amazing, and I think that says a lot. So we all experience, trauma in lifing, as we said, but it's what you do with it that really makes the difference. And sometimes, as much as we hate to endure the trauma, sometimes maybe it's necessary because out of the trauma, I've seen some of the brightest lights, come to be. So Tonya, tell us a little bit about, your upbringing and how your childhood was and everything before we go back into the evolution of before COVID, which is where we were in the story, you all.
Okay. Born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. Grew up in Baltimore.
Where?
Baltimore.
There was a T in there.
You heard Baltimore. Now I am from Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland.
But I grew up in Baltimore.
There's no Y in Maryland, definitely.
So, I grew up in Flag House Project. Shout out to Flag House. When I grew up in Flag House, I became a teen mom. What else did I say before? My mom was one of the first recipients of Section 8 back in the early 90s.
Right, so you moved to the house, right? From the projects.
From the projects.
How old were you at that time?
16, maybe 17.
Okay,
16.
And this is before you became a mom? When you had
I had my son.
So you had your son, and then you moved out to the. Okay, then you moved out also.
And then we moved, and then at the time, trying to be a teen mom, going to school, I had full support of my mom. My mom said, as long as you go to school, I'm gonna support you with everything that you do. And it was like I ended up missing a lot of time from school with my son being sick and stuff. So then, the year that I turned 16, I went and got my GED. So I don't really say that I dropped out, but
no, because that's a testament. I was saying that when you told me, a lot of people stop school and they forget to go back, though. That's the important part. They forget to finish, at least getting your GED. You know what I mean? But you didn't just do that. You kept moving from there.
I did. I got my GED. I got a certification in computer operations where I learned some computer softwares that over the years they grew. I'm not gonna go back there, but over the years, you said Mavis speak typing.
Oh my goodness! You remember that? You do. I remember that. That used to be
I remember that. I mean, now I can do a nice little clickety click.
Right? How about that? Right?
I mean, with nails and everything. But over the years.
But so you evolved in your career from there.
Yeah, I involved in that, and then at 20, I got married. At 21, by 21, I had my daughter. And then I had started. I was doing hair.
Okay.
I was a kitchen hairstylist.
You got to give a shout out to the kitchen hairstylists. Those are the originals. I'm just saying.
So I had my little shop, my little few little clients that came, and one of the ladies that came, she worked at a nursing home, and she was like, Tonya, we hiring, you can come and work there. And I was like, I don't know if I want to work in nobody's kitchen. But anyway, I went and like I said, my daughter's 24 and I've been in food service for 24 years. So,
now we were talking about that too, how you just throw food service out there, right? But there's a whole lot of levels to this food service thing, right?
Yes.
And so I want you to break down kind of your growth and evolution in the food service game. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Because the owner of Lay's is in food service, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. But so is the lady at the drive-thru at McDonald's.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can't discredit the position that you start in. It's always
say that.
Say
that again. Wait. So repeat that one more time. You can't what?
You can't discredit the position that you start in. Because it's always where you finish.
That's right.
So that's you gotta continue to grow. Whatever you do, you have to see this as an opportunity to grow from it.
Yeah.
To learn from it, no matter what the situation is.
Yeah.
So whenever you get into something, and a lot of people, especially being in dietary for, like I said, 20 plus years, you see people who be like, I don't want to work in the kitchen. There's no growth. It's a lot of growth potential. You just gotta.
How about that?
You just gotta be willing to do it. And I started as a dietary aide, and I was a nourishment aide. I was an assistant cook. I was a cook for a couple of years. Oh, and for those who watching or don't think I cook, I was a cook for some years.
Say that. You better let them know, Tonya.
But I was
let them know.
But I was a cook, and then I became an assistant manager. And again, me knowing the computer software, I'm throw this in there a little bit. My manager at the time, before I became the assistant manager, she was the older lady. We had got a new company,
right?
And she didn't know nothing about the computer. So before I was even an assistant manager, I was doing the schedule. I was doing payroll. I was putting in food.
Can you say I didn't have the title, but I had the responsibility?
I had the responsibility.
Yeah.
And what happened was, when she left, she was like, I want you to come and be my assistant. She said, I want you to come and work with me. And she had went to a smaller nursing home. They didn't have the assistant position available, but she was like, I know some place that got one, and I need you to help her the same way you helped me.
See.
And so I went there, and anyway, I ended up becoming an assistant manager, got transferred, went to another building. And then from there, I became the manager. My manager at the time, I had to step up.
That's what's up.
Once the manager was gone, I had to step up into that position. And the administrator, he was like, Tonya, I want you in this position. I'm like, I don't know if I want that responsibility. I like being the assistant. I like being in the background.
Like almost running it, but not quite in charge of all the knuckleheads. Right?
You know what I mean? Like, I can still go and see my residents.
Yeah.
I can still tell people what to do.
Yes, how about that?
But I don't have the full-on responsibility of everything being on me.
Right,
and I like that. And he was like, Tonya, you need to do that. He said that you would be great at what you're doing.
Now, see, if you hadn't jumped out there, not to fast forward a little bit, but if you hadn't jumped out there and taken on that responsibility, maybe you wouldn't have known you were ready for what happened later on in life. But so not to go too far now. Let's start a little bit. We're just fast forwarding a little bit. So now we get to like 2019, right?
Yeah.
And everybody got put on punishment. Everybody got grounded. We all got put in the house. But you didn't get grounded per se. You got grounded, but you were also told, wait, you're essential.
I'm an essential employee.
Like a nurse or something, right?
I remember at the time having to drive with a note in my car that say I'm an essential employee, that I had to come to work, that I had to be to work. We had to have our badge and a letter and stuff like that we were, we are available. But
so while the world is walking around in a hazmat suit or hazmat suits, you're not a healthcare professional, but you have to go to work because you're essential to feed the healthcare worker. Exactly. And the people there, right?
Yes.
And then you're working with also a very at-risk population, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now what happens, though, while you're in there working essentially?
So talk about this at-risk population. Again, when COVID first hit, they were, it was new. They were giving out, like, every day, it was a different press conference about what happened, what the symptoms are, what to look out for, who's essentially vulnerable. And besides the elderly population, everything else that they had, I hit every last one of those numbers.
Oh, so you were at risk yourself, is what you're saying to me.
I was at risk myself. I was
terrible.
I was overweight. I had high blood pressure.
Oh my word.
I was a type 2 diabetic. Well, I still am a type 2 diabetic.
For now, but we're working on it, right?
We're working on it.
Okay.
We're working on it. Put that A1C down a good 3 points.
Oh, did you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, shout out to that. But so go ahead.
So,
you're working, and what happened?
So what happened was, again, I'm essential, and I have to be there. And because it was so scary at the time, and just because I'm in full service, it was a lot of my staff that did not want to go on the floor. Because when we went to the floor, we saw nursing, we saw housekeeping. Everybody had hazmat suits on.
You all didn't?
No.
Wait, so they didn't give you all those types of things?
No, they told us we don't have direct patient contact, so we don't, necessarily need all of the precautions that was given to everyone else.
So what did they give you all?
So they gave so we got some masks with some, like a mask with a shield type thing.
Okay.
And I mean, eventually, I will say, in the beginning, we didn't have a lot. I will say that, but in the end, towards the end of, we had everything. We had everything to say, and that was like one of my fights. I was fighting for my staff to have everything.
Yeah, you're like by the end, but by the end, I'm guessing it wasn't quite the same.
It wasn't quite the same. So, So with that being said,
so did you end up getting
in March of 2020, they kind of shut everything down again.
Right.
I'm back and forth to work. And then Easter weekend in April, Easter weekend. And I was with one of my good girlfriends. I love her to death. Shout out to Jackie.
Shout out Jackie.
That's my sister. She saved my life.
Amen.
But I was with her, and I was sick. I kept coughing. I couldn't hold my head on the table. She was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "I feel like I got a fever." She said, "I got a brand new thermometer in the car. I'm going to go and get it."
Was it out of nowhere?
My temperature was like 99 point something. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go home, take some Tylenol. I'm going to come back because I don't want to be around you and your kids, everything. You know what I mean, going on or whatever. She was like, all right. She called me back. She like, "What's wrong?" I said, "I can't get up. I just can't move. I'm soaking wet." She was like, "Go to the hospital." Go to the hospital. COVID positive. So I'm COVID positive. I stay in the hospital 3 days, observation. And they don't really know what's going on. So at the time, they're treating each symptom that I have. If I say I can't breathe, they give me oxygen. If I say I have a temperature, they're giving me Tylenol.
Because they still don't know what to do, really, right?
So it's like they're just feeding each symptom,
right? Yeah.
So then I'm in just 3 days, and that was it. They sent me home.
Okay.
And Jackie made sure I came home. She made sure I had.
That doesn't sound so bad, right? But
No,
after those 3 days,
no,
you went home, and how'd that go?
I went home. I couldn't stay home for 24 hours. I could not breathe. My breath was labored. I was like, Jackie, I can't breathe.
Oh my gosh.
She was like, stay right where you at. My baby came with a mask, some gloves. She was like, I'm taking you back to the hospital. Right now, let's go.
Now, does Jackie work with you, or is she just amazing?
Me and Jackie has been friends since we were both 5 months pregnant. We had two 24-year-olds.
Oh.
We've been friends since we were 5 months pregnant. So that's like,
but she's not in healthcare either.
Mm-mm.
She's just a real one.
She had Lysol.
No, I mean seriously though, because
she had Lysol. She had a mask. She had gloves. She'd be like, I'm gonna wipe the car down. Let's just go, because you're not going down. Because at the time, my daughter had moved out. I wasn't out by myself. She was like, you're not going down this house by yourself. She said, we're going back to the hospital. At least they can find out what's wrong with you. I went back to the hospital, and as soon as I went in, I can barely give them my name. But once I gave them my name, and I told them, instantly rushed me in the back. They found out that I had pneumonia in 90% of both of my lungs.
That fast?
Yes. To this day, I still have. My lungs are still scarred from having COVID.
That's crazy.
And I went back on the 17th.
So that means when you say your lungs are scarred, you mean like you have scar tissue in your lungs?
Yes.
So it makes it hard to breathe, period, right? Oh my gosh.
And I went back in on the 17th. By the 21st on the ventilator.
And we all know the ventilators, first off, they were very few and far between at that time. So for you to be on one means that it was that serious. They kept coming in and again, they're treating different things, different symptoms. And then they came in, it was like, well, Miss Smith, if you have your breathing stopped, do you want to be put on a ventilator? I'm like, yeah. That's not a question. Yeah. Whoa.
And then they like, well, but what we're going to do is we have your oxygen turned up to the highest level we can turn it up. We can't give you any more oxygen. We're going to put you in a low flow air room. So I went to this weird room. It was just weird at the time.
The room was supposed to make you breathe easier?
It was
educate the masses.
It was a low oxygen air room. They was just trying to do everything to just like really keep me alive. But I remember before they came in, and when I tell you, they had me hooked up everywhere. I had IVs in both arms, oxygen. It was just a mess, tubes everywhere. And I had a nurse on this side and a nurse on this side, and they were like unhooking me, getting me ready to move me. And I remember that nurse, like, she grabbed my hand and she was like, Miss Smith, you're gonna be okay. And I just looked away from her and I said, I don't want to die. And she said, Miss Smith, you're not gonna die. And then all I remember is the nurse on this side. She came running and she was like, get the car, we losing her. I died, like right there. Cold blue. Twice. And that time I remember. The second time I don't remember, but definitely a cold blue twice.
What in the world? I'm just saying though, what? I'm just saying, for real, like you had a childhood full of distractions, full of obstacles, right? And then you get to this, you've grown through your career and everything. I'm sure you probably were like, oh, I'm at the top of the career. I'm about to be the manager. I'm running this, right? But that wasn't all we had for you. That wasn't all God had in store for you. Now, was it? Oh my gosh. Wait. Yo, you crashed twice.
I crashed twice. Like I said, the first time I definitely remember. The second time I don't remember. And I remember, because they had pretty much sedated me. So, because I pulled the ventilator out.
Okay.
I didn't always have this voice. It has gotten better over the years. However, my voice was a little high pitched, a little squeaky voice. It is now softer, a little deeper. It's still real soft.
Because of that?
Because of the vent. I did pull the ventilator out. Once I started coming to, I was a bad patient. I admit it. But the event, when they had me on the event, and like I said, this is why I tell you, I love my girlfriend Jackie. I call her my sister. That's my baby.
We all need a Jackie in our life. Can I just say, we all need a Jackie. Somebody who, when you're not quite right, just jumps in, grabs their cape or their gloves and their Lysol.
She did. She stepped in.
Yes.
She was my point of contact person. And when I say that she saved my life, because it was COVID, nobody was there to see anything.
Right.
She can only see through the tablet, and she would do video calls.
Okay.
And one of the video calls that she did, she was like, why her face swollen? They're like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with her face. She was like, no, her face is swollen. The whole right side of her face is swollen. Why is her face swollen? Now, mind you, I can't see. I don't know what I look like. And to find out, I wasn't having any urine output.
Are you serious?
And I had 2 marks on my neck where they did an emergency dialysis. My kidneys were shutting down. And had Jackie not have seen how swollen my face was, they probably wouldn't have even knew that. So by the time they was ready to start the dialysis, I did start actually at urine. But being in COVID, I was in the hospital. I was on a ventilator for 12 days. I was in the hospital for 32 days. I went into
a long time.
I went into acute renal failure. My body went into emesis. I had to have 3 blood transfusions, 2 platelet transfusions. I developed blood clots in both of my legs.
Oh my
They started me on a medicine called heparin. Found out I was allergic to.
They found out you were allergic to it.
If I showed you the pictures of me on heparin, you would be like, this can't be you.
Oh my God.
It doesn't even look the same. But, I had a really, really, really bad allergic reaction.
Wait, let's pause for a second. Where was your mental during all of this? Where was your mental status? What were you feeling? How were you?
I mean, I was messed up. because again, I didn't know. And all I kept saying is that, like, I don't want to die.
Right. And nobody knows what this is that you're dealing with.
And it's crazy because I kept saying, before they went to move me, and talking to Jackie, I said, I want to come home. And she was like, no, you're not going to come home till they figure out what's wrong. And I'm like, no, people is dying around me. I had cold blue all day long.
Oh my
I want to go home. I don't want to be the next cold blue.
Right.
I was the next cold blue.
Right. I was the next cold blue. But thank God that you didn't come home, huh? Because there ain't no cold blue at home. There's no cold blue at home.
Just like coming from that, my mental state, I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what day it was, what week it was, what month, because I was under for so long. I knew that President Trump was the president.
You did know that?
They came and they would come in just to check your cognitive and like, now my name's Sonia Smith, where you at? I'm in the hospital. Which hospital you in? They had the news running all day. I thought I was in India somewhere.
Because you couldn't get rid of the news.
Because they kept talking in some Indian news. I didn't know where I was at.
Goodness.
And they asked me what month it was. I said it was October. It was actually.
Yeah, we weren't in October, were we?
No, it was May.
Oh,
I didn't know.
goodness.
I didn't know what month it was. But when they asked me, they said, "Do you know the president?" I said that ridiculous orange mother. and the doctor's like, "Okay, so we getting somewhere. Because I knew that much."
So how do you feel with him being back around with his repeat visits?
I feel like I'm never really a political person because everybody has their views,
right?
But I feel like everybody who did not vote. For him. I feel like everything.
You said anybody who did not vote voted for him.
I like that was a vote for him. I feel like one thing that I will give him credit for is he's doing everything he said he was going to.
If you're going to keep your word, I'm just saying. If you said you was going to punch me in the eye and you punched me in the eye, I really can't be mad at you for punching me in the eye.
He had a plan that was put before everybody that he tried to deny that he had nothing to do with, and his.
Are we talking about Project 2025?
Oh yes, we're talking about 2025.
Okay.
And within his first week, or so, he signed a lot of that stuff in 2025. So that's the one thing that I I mean, we just have to now just maneuver through.
Yeah.
And us as Black people,
yeah.
we want to survive the way we always knew how to survive.
I agree with that.
It's just that it's certain obstacles that are now going to be put before us.
But I think it's a little difficult that we need to make sure that we're not sticking our heads in the sand for the next 4 years. You know, while we're getting mad and we're like, I don't want anything to do with it. That's great, but you can't really turn your back for 4 years. 4 years is a long time. You know how much can happen. Look how much he's done in how many weeks
it
has it been?
Even been 100 days.
Okay, I'm just saying. So you might not want to put your head in the sand. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So like I said, so with that being said,
yeah.
I don't feel too confident in the way this country is navigating.
Right.
That's just all I'm gonna say.
But we know God got us though, right? Like a good girlfriend, saying like a good girlfriend, like we out here with a fever and it's a pandemic that God got us.
And that's what happened.
We're in a presidential pandemic right now.
How about that?
And when you say God got us, when I tell you I had people that prayed for me,
you better say that before it even happened.
I had people that prayed for me. People I ain't talked to in forever. It was like, well, Tonya, just what's your name? I want to give God your full name.
That's what I'm talking about.
I want them to know who you are.
Yeah.
People prayed for me.
Yeah.
I came out of this like. And still to this day, as I grow, as I see, as I bless people, as I feel like I am the light in every room that I walk in.
Say that.
I feel like that I bring positivity and joy in every room I step into.
Yes.
Because I know God has a purpose for me.
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
But make me shout in here. This not
go ahead, shout.
I'm losing. It's more like this.
I don't know what it is. But I know that I'm here to walk in it.
Let me tell you, if you don't know that you're purpose driven or that you were made for a purpose, once you done crashed, once you done coded, like there's no real options. You feel what I'm saying? Like I've never coded before. I just like, what do you call it? Figuratively died. You know what I'm saying? You literally died, you know? So when you've literally died, I feel like you would just doing more than a disservice. I don't even know what you would call it. It's like a kick to the front teeth of, you know, God and everything that, you know, he represents for you not to see the blessing in who you are and your purpose, you know? But so, okay, you made it through this, right? You didn't, did you die? You didn't die. You did die, but you came back, right? Yeah. And so after you made it through this, you got out of the hospital, and eventually COVID, it never went away. We still have COVID out there, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it calmed down a little bit or something.
Going through it now.
Right. So like, how did you all, I know you all linked together a little before that, right?
Yeah.
At work.
So, right. And again, like I was saying, by the time we actually started working together,
right,
COVID had hit again. Like it was in December 21, and we had like 4 or 5 staff members out with COVID at the same time.
Oh my goodness!
And I want to say for maybe,
and y'all are essential, right?
Yeah.
Again,
but for like maybe a week straight, it was just her and I.
Oh my goodness!
That's it. We had no staff.
My paycheck was 150 hours.
We had no staff
for 2 weeks, and 2 weeks together we worked 150 hours. When I say
we had no staff,
I was the cook. She was the dietary aide.
Wow.
5 o'clock in the morning.
No meals was missed. No snacks was missed.
No lateness from 5 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. 2 weeks straight.
But do you realize how much that, like, what that really says? So I know that, you know, I'm sure you all felt it in yourself, but while you were in that place and you were essential personnel, in your mind it's like essential personnel, but let's just say that the two of you weren't there. What would have happened to all the residents? What would have happened to the staff even? You know what I mean?
I mean,
how would
honestly,
people
I
have,
look
what would
at
they
it
have done?
as you have a lot of people who get into this line of work and their heart isn't in it. Their pockets are in it.
Yeah.
Their heart isn't in it.
Yeah.
I can honestly say, like, even at the place where we work at now, like, she'll tell you, them residents, they my grandmas.
See?
I talk to them. I chill with them. I converse with them. Because at the end of the day, I look at it, some of these residents, all they have is us.
How about that?
Yeah.
Only way they're going to eat is if we feed them.
And a lot of people don't realize how many people in senior facilities or assisted living facilities don't get family visits, don't have family in the area, or people that are able to.
And they're literally their family drop them off, and that's it.
Yeah,
and that's one of my drives that I have, for the reason that I am and I fight so hard for the residents as well as my staff, is because a lot of the residents begin their drop there. They can't control their diagnoses. They can't control their situation or their circumstance. Yeah. But you know what they can control?
What can they control?
Their food.
And what they eat. So they get to select, right?
So I want to make their meal experience the best possible. I want to try to give them what they want. We got to fight with them sometimes. They ain't supposed to have it, but
That's one part for me.
I believe you.
But it's what they get in the end. It's their decision,
right?
That they had. I don't want that. I'm not gonna eat it. And
right.
I want something else. And, you can give it to them, opposed to them saying, this is my diagnosis. This is my medicine I have to take to live, to survive.
Yeah.
They can't control that. Yeah. They can't control that they have no family coming to see them. They can't control that they don't have anybody. They don't have a place to go once
they have nobody
they have nobody advocating for them. So
that's very true.
I try to just make their meal experience pleasurable.
That means a lot, I'm sure.
Listen, the way their face lights up when I say I'm about to cook.
Yeah,
it be something as simple as soup.
But if it's the right soup, you never know what it's triggering, right? Those good memories, those good feelings. Yeah,
that fat off.
That's that big mama. That's that big mama. Once I'm working on it. My macaroni and cheese okay. Look, it's okay. Look, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, she definitely got the fat on. She makes this gravy. That I call the fat on gravy.
When you just said gravy in itself, it just gave, that arm.
It
couldn't have been out of anything else, or else why were you mentioning it?
A co-worker would take the gravy and put it in a bowl and drink it like it's soup.
No.
Yes. It is.
So tell me about Delano's heart.
So
again, tell me how that's
working together. We formed the work ethic.
Yeah.
That we had formed a great friendship.
During that time frame of you all being the only essentials, right?
It was like a great respect for each other, and then, conversing, spending that much time together. Again, we formed a really, really good friendship. One day we sitting in the office and Nikki was like, because she loves to cook. Cook anything from any ethnicity. We used to have Asian, Chinese, Jamaican, soul food, like all that stuff. She used to cook all of it. We used to have different days of the week. We used to do that.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Anything that you can eat.
Okay.
One day we sit in the office on Lord downtime, and I'm like, what you want to do with this? Like,
right.
Why do you cook so well and you just my cook? You know what I mean? Like, because essentially that's how she came to me, as my cook.
Right.
You my cook. And she was like, well, I had a business. I did a restaurant before, but it really didn't work out. But I was in it with someone else. So why don't you own your own? I don't know. I ain't really think about it. Why not?
Let me put this out there. So a lot of times people get into this catering business, or they get into cooking and selling plates out their house because money is on their brain.
Yeah,
money,
that's true.
When I do this, it's never about money, because I'm sorry, I'm not a millionaire. I'm a hundredaire. At the end of the day, this catering stuff, unless I got somebody that's willing to invest $30,000, $40,000, is never gonna pay my bills. It may buy me a soda. It may put a nice picture up in my house.
A couple of sodas.
But at the end of the day, I don't do it for the money.
Yeah.
Like, me and her have had arguments because, why are you charging this, or why are you charging that? Why are you charging this? Because I tell him, you want 5 pans of this, or 4? Give me $100.
No.
And she gets mad, but I do it when I tell you.
Because at the end of the day, you're going to pay for my time, and you're going to pay for my experience.
Right.
That's just it.
Right.
Granted, the meal is going to be good.
Right.
But you're going to pay me for the knowledge that I have to make that meal taste good.
Right, because you're worth it.
Because and she
I don't look at it.
She
like
don't.
That.
She didn't see that necessarily in herself.
I don't like.
Well, I hate to tell you, but you don't either. Just so you know it, like you don't see your greatness. So, but and it's not just you. So I tell people this all the time. None of us will ever really see our true greatness. So even people that act like they think they're 22 on 10 on a scale of 10, those are just pretend, okay? Because the fact of the matter is you can never see yourself.
Right.
Think about it. You can only see reflections of yourself or pictures of yourself, but you can never really just sit back and observe yourself like somebody else can, Right. So when you all had the opportunity to be the only essential people and you were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Are they trying to kill us? Whole time that might have been happening so that you all could see the strengths in each other, so that you could observe each other.
I will put this out here. Like I had another manager that when I tell you this woman pushed me and pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. But she was doing it. She was pushing me at a time in my life where I wasn't ready to receive the message.
You better say that. That's a whole other
ready
message.
To receive it, and the write-ups the whole time, not even realizing she wasn't really writing me up. I found this out later on, but it's like she was pushing me and pushing me because she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Yeah.
But it's like once I came across Miss Smith and I saw she was the manager that I always wanted. You know what I mean?
That's funny you say that because my background is human resources, so I'm very, very familiar with the right manager.
They just
say it.
And once I saw her, it wasn't well, since you're the assistant, you got to go in there. Well, I'm gonna sit at home.
Right.
She's washing dishes with me. She's sweeping the floor. Everything that her employees was doing, she did. And like she said, she was only supposed to have me a month.
Wow.
Listen, I had offers like this. When I say this one particular place kept just upping the money. And mind you, I was a bench manager from another company because one thing I stand for, no matter what job I'm at, you're not going to play with me and you're not going to play with my employees, especially if I'm a supervisor or a manager.
Well, that says a lot.
And I stepped out there and I did something that no other manager was going to do. And they didn't like that. But they couldn't terminate me. They couldn't fire me. I was the best thing that happened to y'all. But what they did was they benched me. But in the meanwhile of them benching me, I got a severance pay. That's how I knew I didn't do nothing wrong. But I'm getting a severance pay. I can't sit home.
Right.
She'll tell you on my days off, she'll call me, what you doing? Girl, I didn't rearrange. I didn't move the refrigerator. I can't sit still. So that's how I came across her. And then once I saw her work ethic, it just pulled me even closer.
Yeah.
And I wanted to learn more. Like I've learned so much in this business because of her. And I'll tell anybody, they're like, oh, this is such and such, she is such this, she is such that. And I never take away what she has taught me. Never. So it's like once I got in there with her, I was like, all right, I can do this. I'm gonna stick with it.
Right.
But then I wanted like people at the job I was cooking. I had a Haitian lady tell me that my jerk chicken tastes like her mother's.
That's a word right there.
And
none of the islands play about their jerk chicken. None of the islands.
Everybody was coming to me to make this dish for them, make this dish for them, make that for them, make that for them. And she was like, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. No, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do this. And it was like she was pushing me. And at my big ass age, I was ready to receive that message.
And I'm just saying, we all evolve in our own time and space. And a lot of times we get frustrated with our friends and family because they might not be ready yet. Like we want them to be ready, but you were ready in your own perfect time. It was the perfect time, though. Yeah. Like you weren't supposed to be with that other lady.
So much going on in my personal life. Like I'm never one to show what I'm going through.
But life will hold you back, won't it? Those distractions are real, aren't they?
I tell you, for 22 years, nobody, unless you're a close friend and you know me personally, 22 years, my life has been lifing nonstop. And then literally, finally, 3 months ago, my life stopped lifing.
Really? So it stopped?
It stopped lifing.
No, but so you remember when I told you in the beginning, when I'd have been a little while ago, that I said, I can do adult things with kid money. That is my whole life.
Yes. Yeah.
She's finally at that place where she.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I have 2 years left. Look at my sentence.
Taking care of two adults who have mental illness. One of those adults having a drug addiction. And you having to parent a parent.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And then to watch that parent do whatever they want to do with their life, whether it's throw it down the drain or do something good. No matter what they want to do, they could do with it, and they choose to do the wrong thing.
Of course.
While I'm over here taking care of your responsibility. For 22 years, I took care of my brother. No help from no one. Everybody want to take no help from no one. And it's like I finally got to a point where I was tired. I was done.
That's what happens, though. You burn the candle at both ends.
Like spending money on a lavish trip or buying all these fancy stuff, fixing my house.
That's grown up spending.
That's what I'm trying to listen.
That's grown up spending.
Girl, I got a Ring camera too.
Not the Ring camera. I love that. So listen, as you all, you all's lives have evolved without denial, right? You can't deny that. You can see your evolution. I'm sure you all could feel your evolution, right? So what advice would you give to other people, like as we're all facing life's distractions, life's, blockades, barriers, all the stuff sent, I believe in the devil, yes, but I don't give the devil a whole bunch of power. Like I'm not like the devil did it. You know what I mean? I'm more like, I feel like there are just moments where you're in the wilderness, kind of like Jesus was in the wilderness and you're like being tested and tempted and whatever, like to kind of give up. But you're right there on the cusp of your, your breakthrough or your good day. What advice would you give? How would you tell people to keep pressing through on that last day? They don't even know it's the last day though. You know what I mean?
For me, go a little spiritual.
Go ahead.
Worry about nothing, but pray about everything.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Fear, only faith.
That's it. And with you not having no fear, and then and that faith behind you, and you walk in it, you have to walk with the confidence that God is right there with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't be afraid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you grow from failure. You can't sit back and be like, I'm not going to open this business because it's not going to do good.
Yes.
I don't have the clientele that I have to really put this business out there, so it's not going to do good. But you know what? Once that business fails, once it goes down the drain, once you see all of your mistakes and where everything happened, then you can grow from that.
Yeah, it's like a planning book, right?
Yeah, it's like it's like you and that's something that I just read that recently. Like, we protect our children so much because we don't want them to fail, but then they don't grow,
right? Because
they know that we're their safety net,
right?
And me, I have no safety net. I can't do nothing but survive. I can't. I gotta. It's just me,
right?
You know what I mean? So my number one thing is pray about everything.
Yes.
You have to pray. You can't just pray about everything. Faith without works is dead.
Say that. Faith without works is dead. Yes.
That's
the truth.
Pray about everything. Don't be afraid. Don't dim your life for no one else. I did that.
I was just about to say, have you ever found yourself dimming your life for anybody? Can you say more words about that?
So much to everybody else.
Yes.
I got nothing for yourself.
I did that for a long time. I did that for not a long time, but a good portion of my time while I was growing, where I was going from this assistant manager to a manager. I definitely dimmed my own light. I let someone else shine while I was in the back. The whole time I'm the one doing everything, and I'm the one that's there, and
they're getting all the accolades. That's crazy.
And it wasn't just really at work. It was in my personal life as well. You know what I mean? Like, I was really the person that sat back, and I sat back and I was in a corner, and I let somebody else go in, and I let them, hey, how y'all doing? And I just sat there, and then once I'm no longer in that space, ain't nobody gonna have it in my life. Everywhere I go, man, I'ma shine.
But tell me, what made you take your life from under that bushel, though?
You had to step away from it.
I like that reference.
you
had to step away from
Maryland. Always referring to crabs. Step away from that bushel.
You know that bushel. How'd you do that?
I had to step away. And sometimes
those boundaries. Are you talking about boundaries?
Yes.
So my big thing, I don't know if you all know this, is self-care, self-love, right?
Yes.
So we talk about self-care all the time, but a lot of times we forget that self-love portion, you know? So we forget that, okay, I'm having a hard time. I can't pick up the phone and listen to my friend gripe about, I don't know, the weather. Like, that's serious to her at this moment, yes. But in the grand scheme of things, my house is literally on fire. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that's a very big thing that we all need to be aware of.
And when you step away from certain things and situations, whether it's personal, whether it's work, whether it's your children, having adult children. I have a 30-year-old son, a 24-year-old daughter.
I can't believe that.
That's testaments.
That's testaments right there.
So, like, even as you step away from that, and you have to realize that, you know, I am enough. You know, I don't have to bring no more than that.
Just me.
And everything that I possess within me.
And I don't have to turn me down.
Not at all.
Yes. I'm just saying, the sun hurts a lot of people's eyes.
But
it doesn't stop shining quite bright, does it? Have you ever seen the sun get a little dimmer for you? Because you keep looking up there? Or is it just like beam? Yeah, exactly. So how about you? I was about to say, how about you, Tonya? How about you, Nikki? Give me a why do you keep moving forward?
So one thing I've always been a strong believer of is the only way to get through something is to keep going through it. Just keep going through it. And
that's the truth.
I look at it, you never allow the devil and someone else to destroy the God in you. So no matter how much someone beats you down, no matter how much you keep getting 25 million no's, somebody gonna tell you
yeah. If you keep pressing forward, right?
And I personally had to learn it myself. And she'll tell you there was this singer, and it's crazy because I'm listening to the Alexander O'Neal station on Pandora, and this song came on, and I'm driving on my way to work, and when I tell you I was going through it. I disappeared from my friend's life and my social life for months.
Really?
And only a couple people knew what I was going through. I almost lost my home. And this is once again taking care of
other people.
Them two people. But I tell you, my life was a mess. And Mervyn Mayo in this place came on. Whew. That song, I don't care how much of a thug, how much of a dope boy, street boy, corner boy.
Right.
That song,
snatch the gangster out of you.
No matter what you are going through, and even to this day.
Yeah.
There was a point in time I had my Alexa in my bathroom on repeat.
Really?
For this song. Mervyn Mayo in this place.
Mervyn Mayo in this place.
In this place.
Y'all might want to add it to the playlist. I'm just saying.
That song,
I'm just saying.
And for me to be going through what I was going through and listening to the station, I was listening to Alexander O'Neal.
Come on now.
And that song came. And even now, even with this newfound emotional self-love freedom that I have,
right?
That should tell you that song still
hit you,
will break me down.
Yeah.
But I just feel like at some point you're gonna get through whatever. I don't care what it is.
I love that you said that though, because oftentimes, I know we can't see the end of a tunnel when we're at the beginning of it, depending on the length of the tunnel, right? Yeah. But when you're in that tunnel, just like I said, when you've been in it, you don't know it's the last day in the wilderness when you're on that last day.
I try, and even with my friends, I tell them all the time, like, I am who I am because of where I came from.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of people don't realize what I've really been through in my 43 years on this earth. Like but when I tell you I've been through it, when I say I've been through it, from having to choose if I'm gonna eat or pay these bills, or I gotta feed my mom and my brother. Like I've always, from the age of 18 and up, like having to take care of someone, going through the trials and the tribulations, working 3 and 4 jobs, and still barely making ends meet. So to be at this point in my life, like I when I tell you I love my brother, I love my brother to the point. At one point in time, I would give my life for him to have a better one. And that was not a good way to think.
You know how crazy that is? Like it sounds like the right thing, but it's not the right thing. You know, that's what I mean about the self-love, self-care thing. So we say self-care, you know, self-care, self-care, self-care. We say we love ourselves, but God says love your neighbor as yourself. He didn't say love yourself because he felt like that was a given, you know?
And it's like now,
but so many of us miss it.
And it's like now it hurt me to the core to have to let my brother go. Like, I don't care if it was picking out his clothes down to his drawers. That's I love my brother. I love my mother. But at some point I had to let them go. And after all these years, November, I did that. And it's like,
how did you find the strength? Because it sounds easy. It sounds easy when you're not in it, right? Yeah, that's not an easy situation.
Something that happened. Like my mom went missing.
Really?
Didn't know where she was. It tore my insides up. And as much as
that is a lot.
I tried to, well, she did this to me, she did that to me. I'm not that person. Because at the end of the day, that's still my mother.
I remember when told me that about my mom.
Yeah, like that's still my mother. And no matter how much she made me mad of what she did, I knew from 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the afternoon when my mother was going to be outside doing. But I knew she was coming back in that house.
Right.
When that first day passed, she did not come back. That second day passed, 2 weeks passed, my mother did not show up.
And you still got to operate.
My heart was crushed, and I still have a brother that I have to make sure he's good.
Yeah.
And then for her to show up like it was...
like nothing happened. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. You know what it's like? It's like I hate to compare it, but it's like a girlfriend and she's like, oh my gosh, he didn't come home. Wait, I hope nothing happened. I hope nothing happened. And then he come walking in like, hey girl, what you doing?
Like, you hungry?
Yeah, you hungry?
And then it was like her behavior.
Oh my word.
Was starting to rub off on my brother. And then now my brother is acting a certain way that he has never acted.
Yeah.
Even with his mental illness.
Yeah.
Like, oh. And then this one particular night is when it went too far. And once it got to that point,
you know,
I said, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
I said, I can't. Yeah. And that can't went from I won't.
Say that. You better speak that for real. There's a difference between I can't.
Like, once
I can't do it.
Won't there, it went from I won't to, you know what, goddamn it, I'm not.
Shoot.
I'm not.
Yeah.
And she'll tell you, I was like, I can't do it. And I had to keep pushing that in my head because when I tell you, I am a softie.
That's a whole nother level though. When you hit that, that's the go ahead.
And it just and it kept going and kept going and kept going.
And you could be a softie, but not to your own detriment, right? No, because here's the kicker. On those days that you said, who eats, me or them, if you don't eat for too many days,
listen,
then nobody's going to eat, right?
I was at that point.
Isn't that what happened?
I was at that point. It was at the point where I was making $10 stretch me 7 days.
Houseway.
Listen,
if I leave the house,
I could tell you how to make a meal out of $5.
I could do 10. How did you do 5?
No,
I can tell you how to make a meal out of $5.
What are the ingredients? You are a cook, though. Come on now. I'm just saying you have an unfair advantage, maybe.
And I'm not gonna say living with my grandparents. I did not have.
We might want to know this for real. I'm joking, but serious. $5 meal.
Living with my grandparents, I did not have a rough life. I'm never gonna say like my grandparents. I was spoiled. It wasn't until I turned 18, and you know, old school,
right?
18.
Time to go.
And that turning 18, it sent me to my mother in Pennsylvania.
Oh, really? Okay.
And from then is when adulthood began for me, and
like for real began.
Like for real. And then I went from living with my mother to taking care of my mother, and now I'm getting phone calls about my brother.
Oh.
So literally, I've always taken care of them.
Mm-hmm.
I paid my mother's bills just to make sure you were okay. I've enabled them.
Yeah.
So when I got to this point at November, listen, I'm like a brand, like I'm like that that kid that finally left home and on their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I don't have a 3-bedroom house no more. I have a 1-bedroom house
because I don't need those other ones. I don't need those other ones. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, definitely. So as you grow and as you evolve, like that's that seriousness, and it's something to be said for that and appreciated about that.
Mervyn Mayo in this place.
We're gonna have to check that out for real.
Please listen to that song.
Yeah,
I
do like that song, but y'all better check it out.
Whether you fighting heartbreak, whether you fighting addiction, whether you fighting homeless, no matter what you are going through in your life, that song is gonna hit you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, gonna make you cry, have the ugly cry.
Not the ugly. Well, the ugly cry is very necessary though in evolution. I'm gonna just say, if you don't ugly cry one good time, it's kind of like if you don't fail. If you don't fail, you won't succeed.
Yes.
Can you fail? Can you succeed without failing? I don't think that's a thing that can happen. Would you agree?
Because how you gonna know how much you can put up with, how much you can take?
Yeah, no matter what it is, you have to.
Or what you need to do to make sure that failure doesn't happen again.
Exactly.
So how do you fix each failure that you have?
Mistakes are lessons.
Yeah.
Are lessons.
It's part of the growth, right?
Yeah.
Part of the whole situation.
I don't want to have a perfect life. I don't want to be a perfect person.
Not at all, by far. Could you imagine how boring that would be? Mm-mm. Seriously.
I love a little toxicity.
A little bit, just a little dash. Little dash. But so, okay, we're going to give another shout out to her since I didn't have any sound on the beginning, and we'll probably cut at the beginning half of this video so we can make sure that we are. If you have not already, please. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to go over there. Okay. If you have not already, please go ahead and go to celebrityfiesta.com so that you can make your reservation for Memorial Day weekend 2025. The Fort Lauderdale Fiesta is scheduled. Here's a quick little snippet. Details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space for the 5th annual Fort Lauderdale Fiesta, featuring new impressions, wet band, and still familiar. Come visit us at thecelebrityfiesta.com for further details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. So go ahead and get your reservations if you have not already. Please contact celebrityfiesta.com for further information. All right, so back to our guests. So as we were discussing, now Delano's Heart. Tell us a little bit more about the company. What all do you all do? Where can we find you? What's the mission?
Feed the people.
Is that the mission? Feed the people?
Well, one of our so Delano obviously comes from her dad.
I switched it to Delano, didn't I? That fast. Delano.
So
is it Delano or Delano?
So I say Delano, but it is actually Delano.
Okay.
My father's name is actually Bobby Delano Battle.
Bobby Delano Battle. I like that name.
It is fine.
It sounds like a fine man's name. Let's be real. I mean,
I'm not even gonna hold you. My father was a very, very, very.
But tell the truth, unbiasedly speaking, doesn't Bobby Delano? Don't he sound just kind of fine?
It sounds like.
Oh, what's your name? So tell us a little bit about the company, the mission of the company, and all of that. What all do you all provide, and where can people find you?
So the initial, the heart part, came from we wanted to provide food from the soul, but it wasn't necessarily a soul food place, but we cooked from the heart.
Right, I love that. I love that. Yeah,
that's what. And we had ended up actually right after we had got our LLC, put up our website, did our Facebook page. We actually had a government contract in.
Oh, really?
What was that, 23?
It was.
So we was actually written into a grant.
Okay.
That we did a summer program, and we provided summer lunches for children at a camp.
Oh, that's awesome. So what type of stuff did you provide?
We provided all pretty much healthy. Like they got good food. Like they got good sandwiches.
And mind you, some of these camps, they outside of a catering company, the city was providing food for them.
Oh, really?
And I'm not going to be ashamed to say this. What the city was giving them should be ashamed of yourself.
And that's how
what the city of Baltimore was feeding these kids.
What was it consistent
Slices of bread with pieces of lunch meat inside of a sandwich bag is what the city was giving to these kids.
That's terrible.
Are you serious?
And they were.
And so are these at the? These are at the schools though.
These are summer camps.
At the summer camps.
Summer camps.
Like so this is what they're.
Some of these kids,
don't have food at home per se.
Kids, this is the meal. Some of these the only meal they're gonna get.
Yeah.
And you're giving them 2 slices of bread, a piece of meat, and a piece of cheese inside of a sandwich bag and a grocery bag.
So
that's ridiculous.
Baltimore City, this is what y'all was doing.
That's ridiculous.
So we did box lunches. We exposed a lot of the inner city kids to fresh fruit.
Okay, awesome.
We gave them fresh fruit. We gave them juice boxes. It was in a kilo box, but we gave them different variety of sandwiches on different type of breads. Like I remember the one the lady was like, "Oh, I never heard of a ciabatta bread before." Like
really?
It was like ciabatta bread.
Yeah,
right. You never heard ciabatta bread? Okay,
no, she definitely.
I mean,
these kids were getting shrimp salad, curry chicken salad.
Yeah,
all the stuff I was making from scratch.
Tuna salad.
Oh, that's what I'm talking
about. And when we did a deli sandwich, it wasn't just a regular deli sandwich. It like had
even just a regular deli sandwich. Let's be real, it's not just some meat, some cheese, and some bread in a baggie.
It was
you
on,
know,
it was on we did deli sandwiches on croissants. We did wraps. We did pretzel buns and stuff like that. So that was like really successful with like really getting our name out there. We did a huge thing in the park as well that summer.
I do a lot of my friends. I do a Nikki's jerk cut.
Okay, tell us about Nikki's jerk cut. That just sounds really good.
Just a lot of jerking around.
Is that
but no,
is that a pop-up situation? Does this come back?
I literally randomly. It's like something that I randomly do. Like I just not too long ago did one at my job.
We did one.
Where can you all be found too?
They can look us up on Facebook.
On Facebook?
Now I will put this out here, and she gets on me about this all the time. A lot of people do. I'm not a big social media person when it comes to my catering. Like if you was to go off of my social media presence as far as like my catering stuff, you would think that I'm not even cooking anymore. But the whole time I really am. Like,
but if people want to reach out to book you all, where can they find you? Should they go to?
They can go to
hit me up on my Facebook.
On which one? Which Facebook?
You'd probably be better off just hitting me up on
Delanos Heart.
Oh,
we gonna go to that.
Slide in my DM. I mean, I'm just saying, like, but I really don't. I don't take pictures like that, and I feel like I gotta get better.
Oh yeah,
because it's so much stuff that I've done behind the scenes in caterings, and
you definitely have to create some type of
I'll just randomly go on my Facebook like, oh, look what I cooked. I'm still cooking. And then
you have to at least your story or something just to give people an idea.
I have to get better on that. Like I'll post my sneakers, my shoes of the day before I'll post this amazing chicken that I just cooked.
So people can book you all on here though as well. That's good. So what type of events do you all do? What do you cater for? What will you cater for?
Birthday parties, weddings,
everything.
You don't feel like cooking for
office parties.
You don't feel like
date night. What if I need a personal chef?
I do that as well. I actually did that for one of my homeboys who not too long ago passed away, Q. I did that for him and his wife.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's crazy because the way the light and everything was set up, I felt like the light in the kitchen was throwing off the ambiance. And his wife can attest to this. I actually cooked in the dark in the kitchen.
Did you?
I swear to God.
That's
just so they could keep their mood.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I opened up the blinds, and this was probably around like 6-7 o'clock, so the sun and stuff. So it was pretty. I honestly, I cooked in the dark.
That's beautiful. That's a testament to customer service. I'm just saying, though.
Private chefing, big parties, small parties, you just don't feel like cooking. Like whatever it is, I can.
Some meal prep.
Yeah, meal preps. I do meal preps.
So, what is your mantra for life, both of you? Like, what would you say? What are your words that you live by? What keeps you moving?
Get rich or die trying.
I mean, there's something to be said. Mine. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie. That's mine. Ask about me. What's yours, Nikki?
I don't know.
Alexander O'Neal. I can't go a day without my sunshine.
I like that. I can't go a day without my sunshine. That's a good one. And the go-go version's pretty good also. You all should check it out if you haven't heard it already. Sunshine. But
so my favorite go-go song is Fatty.
I don't know.
My fatty, not my fatty. That's a good song. I'm just saying. That's what I was asking. I wanted to know which one hits you. That there's something to be said.
CCB, they definitely.
Yeah.
I will definitely say I listen to them, but then there also was this go-go song.
What?
And they did it. Jill Scott. It was a Jill Scott one. I think it was Can't Wait. I feel it was even. I can't remember.
Not love. Not that one.
Yes.
Love.
Listen, the breakdown on that thing. If you can do a go-go song to a Jill Scott song, any neo soul.
Yeah, that's true.
That's.
There's something about neo. When neo soul and go-go get together, they do a pretty good thing. But that's because I think they were both meant to be live. Even though recordings are great, but live it just gives a little extra.
Go-go, I used to go to the Merriweather Pavilion.
Oh, really?
They used to have the neo soul festivals.
Oh, okay.
And the last time I went before COVID, Leela James was there. Kendrick Family Soul. Who else was there? Erykah Badu was there. Jill Scott was there, and they had.
That's a good lineup.
What is the? It's a go-go band, a very popular one, but Chuck Berry.
Oh, Chuck Brown.
Chuck Brown.
That's the godfather of go-go.
There.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was his band or something.
So he has even though he's deceased, so his son is in. They have a band. Yeah, the Chuck Brown band.
They were there, so that's actually what got me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. But I love the Merriweather Post Pavilion too. That's an awesome place to go see a show.
That neo
was a good show.
I was there from 8:00 in the morning. I think we ended up leaving at 12:00 at night because they literally waited to make Erykah Badu go on last. She literally went on last, and I waited. I paid $42.
Where did Jill Scott go in the lineup?
Jill Scott, she actually went on before Erykah Badu.
Okay.
So literally it was Kendrick the Family Soul, and if you don't know who they are, you better ask somebody. Leela James.
Love her
whenever
too.
Leela James comes on, she has a poet come up.
Oh, really?
And that's where I got the phrase "Never allow the devil and someone else to destroy the God in you." From that poet.
Really? I love that.
They all went first, and then you had to sit and wait for Jill Scott and Erykah Badu.
That is something else. They knew y'all weren't going to leave before seeing Erykah Badu, though. They knew that.
Honestly,
nobody was going to leave
y'all
seeing Jill
Badu,
either.
I honestly went for Kendrick the Family Soul.
Oh, really?
I love Aja and Fatim.
And they probably thought they had lined it up to catch everybody.
Listen, if you are a true neo soul lover,
I don't think you'll miss any of those.
Kendrick the Family Soul.
Yeah, and I love some Leela James.
I
don't hear enough about her though. Yeah. I really don't. I don't hear enough about her compared to the other people in that lineup. That's
what you gotta do. You gotta listen to the remix that she did with Anthony Hamilton. Complicated. Listen to that Complicated.
Now that one there.
Yes. Listen, Anthony Hamilton brought her out on the verses.
Oh, did he?
Did.
Listen.
He did. That verses.
I don't care what nobody said. That was the best.
Anthony Hamilton is amazing too.
What?
Yeah, he's pretty amazing.
Whenever I go out to like a concert, we go see like Eric Roberson. I say I'm gonna put on my Anthony Hamilton outfit.
You know who else not outfit. Wait. I wasn't ready for
my Anthony Hamilton outfit.
One of my favorite in-person artists that everybody
not for anymore. It's Chrisette Michele.
Yes.
Live, she is amazing, right?
Her album, I Am?
Yeah, she's amazing. But she's like, I didn't realize she really studied music until I saw her live. And I was so impressed, like so pleasantly pleased by her performance.
Listen, there's this story behind Chrisette Michele. And I don't want to put her business out there. But there was a point in time I lived in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a record shop in Little 5 Points that she frequented a lot.
Really?
And it's like I was going into this little shop. On my break, I used to be a chef at an Ethiopian restaurant. Shout out to Kibby's.
Of course you were.
And I'm in there, and I just noticed her in there all the time. And honestly, she didn't look, whatever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the end that I found out who she was, because I definitely was trying to shoot my shot. Not
you
even
like that
knowing.
kind of look.
And then I found out who it was. But just her whole vibe, like she was just chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wasn't in there.
Very unassuming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, she had cut her hair off and she had looked a certain. I didn't realize who she was.
I feel bad for her after I felt bad for her after the whole, inauguration situation that happened to her. But I feel worse for her now that we've had this new inauguration and like nobody else is catching quite the flack that she caught at all,
Yeah.
It was some like the first day or something like
People
that.
were just a little shocked.
Yeah,
they weren't
like after that,
forget y'all.
Yeah, like they weren't with the cancel culture. Like
yeah.
They weren't canceling. They ain't canceling.
She was like,
I look at it as people got the same way we as regular civilians go through trials and tribulations and financial things. So do these people, and sometimes they gotta put the politics away for it and think about that light bill.
Yeah.
Think about that BGE bill, because there was a comment made on social media that said people were getting paid $1.5 million.
I can believe that, but I also feel like Snoop could say no to $1.5 million, whereas we know Chrisette Michele
but you know what?
We know Chrisette Michele need that 1.5 a little more.
Can.
That's true. We don't know what he signed up for.
We don't know.
But we also don't have a soundbite of Chrisette Michele saying, "Oh, ain't nobody jigabooing for the man, and y'all getting out there and then going and doing it."
A lot of these, I feel like
it's the hypocrisy for me.
It was for me as well.
Yeah,
a lot of these famous people
really
to that
they go. You know what it is? They go on what's hot, whether it's negative, whether it's positive.
Yeah, that's true.
At this moment in time, maybe Snoop is not getting the recognition that he used to get on social media, but you know what is going to get him recognized? Speaking some dumb shit.
You're right. That will always get we talk about Kanye every couple of months. If he didn't do anything else, he's going to say something dumb.
He sit up there and
he did a rant. He had a rant after
to put his about some teeth. And he was talking crazy. Then he gonna come on TV and say, I'm okay.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, I would be remiss if we did not touch on Kendrick Lamar's performance.
Mustard on the beat.
What were your thoughts on Mustard? What were your thoughts?
I loved every bit of it. I love
the whole Super Bowl and the halftime, or the halftime.
I love the fact that there was a football game at the Kendrick Lamar concert.
That part right there.
That part right there.
There was a football game at the Kendrick Lamar.
There was a football game at the Kendrick Lamar.
And then what I loved about it, he brought everything that everybody was. He brought the symbolism.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they were looking, first of all, if you don't know who Kendrick Lamar is, he's not a Beyonce.
Yeah.
He's not going to get out there with the pyrotechnics and jumping from the ceiling.
Not only that, let's be real. Kendrick Lamar has songs that he could have gotten out there and entertained and gave y'all a just shake your tail feather type of moment. He could have done, what is it? The lights of all, whatever. He could have done that. He could have done, a bunch of little fluffy stuff. But he didn't do all the fluffy songs he has. That's what I'm saying. He gave y'all a snippet of fluffy. He wanted to make a point.
He used that opportunity.
Yeah.
To make a point. To make a statement. And for all of those who are saying that the Super Bowl halftime was boring, they don't get what he brought to the Super Bowl halftime.
I feel like he made us sit down and maybe pay attention in a lot of ways. Although I was still,
And then, but to know that what's today, Thursday? Super Bowl Sunday.
And we still you better say that. Everybody is still talking about it. Everywhere I look.
This is my problem.
Say it.
A helicopter crashed into a plane.
Say it.
Killed how many passengers?
Yes.
You talked about that for 2 hours.
Yes.
Kendrick Lamar comes on and says, Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Such and such and such.
Right.
Y'all so worried about what he said that you're not worried about what he said.
No, wait. On the way to the Super Bowl, right? Trump was in the air on Air Force One signing the executive order to make the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And nobody even told my child, but nobody stopped talking about Kendrick yet.
And that's why I say
distractions.
People
all the time.
You're talking about what he said, but you're talking about it in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, what he said and how he did it, you may not have liked, but y'all still not listening to what he said about Drake. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention. My man, R. Kelly is in jail for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all still y'all not focused on what he said in the right way. You're focused on what he said, but you're not focused on what he said. And he didn't say that
from the
no
beginning
reason.
to the end. I feel like the whole
pay
thing.
attention to everything.
Yeah.
I mean, even down to Samuel Jackson being Uncle Sam.
Did you pay attention to that?
Well, even if you didn't listen to it, you should have seen nothing more than the creativity.
Where they coming down,
the whole thing.
That just wasn't them walking down. They was actually walking down a courtyard in a prison. Did you not notice that? That shows
the whole thing with them.
It took me to the second viewing to get that it was a prison. A prison yard.
But no,
I got the controller though the first time.
That was a squid game.
It was a whole lot of stuff popping.
The rich people killing the poor people.
And nobody, but you got all these people coming on just, why he do this? You worried about how he dressed,
how he did that. You know what I mean?
Formed by all people of color.
Mm-hmm. All people of color.
Mm-hmm. But you know what my biggest issue, I'm not going to lie, is I love that everybody's talking about it and that he started up this conversation, and that is definitely catching regardless, right? But what I don't like is all the arguments that it seems to be instead of the conversation and like open-minded dialogue. It seems to be, oh, well, you're not woke because you didn't get it, or you're too woke because you got it, or I was,
I feel like everyone is talking about it, but you're not speaking on it.
Say that. That's the truth. Yeah.
You're not speaking on it.
Yeah, Alicia, the flag, yes.
You're not speaking on the fact that he's trying to get you to open up your eyes to a lot of different things that is going on.
Right.
As much as you may not like the message, there is still a message.
That's the exact
point. Pay attention
point.
From the time that this man
stepped out there.
I don't care how much people dislike the trans community or what you feel. Who are you to take away their right to live their truth?
Well, I was talking to my daughter earlier, and everybody seems to be very much so missing the fact, now that we're all girls, then I guess we're all part of the LGBTQ community, because technically if we're all the same sex that we were at conception, we're all females at conception, right?
Until that estrogen or that testosterone,
so whichever one takes precedence, right? And then other parts start to form and stuff like that. But initially at conception, we're all female.
I look at it as people are just jumping on the bandwagon, whether it's right or wrong. Like the same way when I see one of the young boys or a man walking down the street with your pants sagging, you're doing it because it's in, but you're missing how it started,
the message
and where
that was behind it. Yeah,
where it came from. Yeah. You don't care about none of that.
Yeah, because there was a true message. The message was, "I'm open. I'm here. Have a party." You know, there was a message.
There was a reason, but it's like that. Yeah. So now all these things that are going on, like you're not. I don't care. Yes, the whole thing with the Mexican culture and wanting to, but what you're not looking at is how would you, if you like it, if you left your house, kissed your wife and your kids goodbye, you going to work, and then now mommy and your kids are looking for you, and they have no idea where you at
because somebody grabbed you up.
You can't call them, you can't say nothing. Days out have passed. Yeah. Think about how that feels, because as much as you may dislike that person, there's 10 people that love them.
Especially if it's just, imagine one person out of your family getting sent to another country where all the other,
and
the
they're
rest
not
of the,
going to be able to get in contact with
you. And you haven't been here a few weeks or something.
And then you don't know what's happening to them in between time.
Yeah.
Before they even get there.
Yeah.
So I understand that things need to be done the right way. But
that part bothers me, but it also
give them a
bothers
chance
me
to do
even
it the
from
right
their
way.
perspective. I'm talking about the more right-winged, right-winged politics people. It seems like if it costs us over $100,000 to send 80 people back to Mexico, it seems like it's not the best use of money, should I say, for somebody who's already trillions of dollars in debt. It just seems like our finances are very questionable at this point.
Yeah, when you got the richest man in America backing you feel what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what Trump doing. Trump paying off that debt. Yeah, Trump paying off that debt to Mr. Musk.
It's something different.
There's
something
to be said there.
I'm gonna tell you how it is. Musk is mad I'm off for the Queen's men, and Trump is Miss Tangy.
Not mad I'm off the Queen's men.
Musk is mad I'm off for Queen's men, and Trump is Miss Tangy right now.
Listen.
Because what Madam had Miss Tangy do? Once you get into office, I need you to do such and such and such and such and such and such.
Yeah,
and
that's
such
true.
And such and such.
It's given that.
It definitely is given that.
Right.
Because
what did Musk do for you?
But how do you as a non-politician
get
so much access
wrapped up into
and then at his
Leisha said some people can't help their genders. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Some females' hormones overflow the male hormone and vice versa. He's trying to start with.
I
feel like that's not the only thing he's
doing. I'm a gay female sometimes. I can't help that shit. I can't help it.
I think I used to say that actually. I used to say I'm more of a gay man than I am a straight woman.
A gay man. His name is Demario.
Demario.
He comes out every now and then, especially when it's time for me to get dressed.
Oh my gosh!
And I done put this hat on and don't look right with that shirt with them shoes.
But
girl,
at the end of the day,
what you doing?
Who
are you to control?
Yeah.
And how do you put? So, my friend who made a couple mistakes when they were younger, and it may be on their record, they can't apply for this job because they know they're going to get turned down because they have a record. But this man who is a felon, who was indicted, who's a convicted felon, can run a country.
That, and then we also have the issue of how do you pardon all these people who attacked law enforcement?
And what they do afterwards? What they do afterwards after they got out?
No, how do you pardon them all after they attacked law enforcement? How are we supposed to say
because they were great,
that you're supposed to?
They were great people. They did nothing wrong.
And then when they got out, what they do? Committed.
Yeah, several of them.
Somebody and a DUI.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that because of course you would feel emboldened, wouldn't you? If
make it make sense.
And I think
the leader of the free world.
And I think that is what is actually like just so scary. And where we are in today's climate, because you have so many people that are emboldened, and think that they are literally writing checks that President Trump can't cash.
Yeah, and right now hatred is like a fad, and I think it's a very slippery slope.
And it's gotten to the point like I was in a store the other day, and I wanted just to get some cookies. The cookies were like right here by the register. But it was like 8 people in line ahead of me.
You was like Jersey Mike's, wasn't you?
Mind your business.
You're right.
Stay focused. So I go.
When she speak about she going to get some cookies, she went to Jersey Mike's.
So I'm standing in line, right, and the girl comes and she was like, "Can I take you?" And I said, "No, I just want some cookies." So you had to stand in line. You could have gone over there. I said, "I don't want nobody to say I wrote it down." You understand what I'm saying? I said I could wait.
Yeah.
And then the guy behind me, he was like, "Yeah, I feel you on that."
Because the way this world is,
guess who was all in front of me? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I listen. I don't got time to beat over nothing unnecessary.
Yeah.
You understand?
So let me tell you, my daughter's father, right? You know about kids' parents, right? You know, unfortunately, he gets on my nerves because he makes a lot of sense sometimes, like randomly, but only when it has to do with stuff I'm not making sense about, right? So he tells me, "Don't put a pebble in your path." How good is that, right? Like, don't create. So you going up to the front of the line would have been like,
don't create
tossing it right there. Yeah. It's for somebody to say something crazy to you.
For the first person to just, and it's like I feel like people nowadays, it's like
they're waiting for that moment.
Reason to go.
Yeah, they really are.
And
they really are.
Three cookies ain't worth it to me.
Not at all. Not at all. not even for you to test my patience.
Listen, picking your battles is a real statement.
It is.
And you
seriously,
see all of this stuff.
so much so, even more so as you get older in life and as you experience more life, and you realize how precious peace is. Then picking your battles will.
Okay, I've come very, very, very far. I've come because when I go off, there'll be valid reasons. There are valid.
Did you just say that?
There are
now
valid
there are
reasons.
battles to pick.
There are valid reasons.
I'm just saying,
I
not all of them.
off.
Though.
I'm just saying this. This is all I'm saying. What? We sit and we watch all of these videos, and we watch the patience of some of us just because they don't want it to be there, and they're like, "Oh, that couldn't have been me. If that was me, I would have did this and I would have did that."
Oh yeah, I hate that couldn't have been me.
But I'm like,
don't you hate that couldn't have been me?
You don't know what to. You know what I mean?
Until you're in that situation. That's
now,
so true.
One thing I will say that when I say it couldn't have been me,
mm-hmm.
if I'm ever in Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell me that they need to check my receipt for all the stuff, I'm going to let them check it. And then I'm going to tell them I don't want none of it. I'm going to go to the register and I want
all my money back.
I want all my money back.
I want all my money back.
Now that's one
thing. You mean if they check the receipt, like go through the receipt?
No,
they don't check y'all's receipts?
So like if they check
stealing,
think you stealing, but
they're
going to
go through all of your bags. Every item
you're not
in
doing
your
that to
bag.
me.
And they want to verify, and they have your receipt. They be like, "Oh, here goes some socks. Oh, yeah, here go this," and they're checking everything. If I'm ever, that is the one time. If I'm ever in that situation,
that is irritating.
You're gonna take out. I'm not even gonna argue.
I'm gonna let you check everything first, though.
I'm gonna argue with anyone.
I do.
This is the worst. If you
really,
if you are that person that likes like 5% toxicity in your life, as I do sometimes, this is the worst person. All right, 10. But this is the worst person to ever. You sit there. Okay. Okay. I'll talk to you later.
You know, I'm working on that. I've gotten better with it, I feel like. But, like, I can't lie. Ever since I said, I used to be Tamika, right? Now I'm just Mika, right? I was Tamika before my son passed. So, after my son passed, I tell everybody, I got up. I don't know when I got up off the ground, off the street. But when I got up, when I came to, I was Mika, right? So, Mika is a much more positive, much more, encouraging, purpose-driven person than Tamika was. Oh, Tamika was lit too. Don't get it twisted. But she was, you know what I mean? She could be provoked. She might curse you out. She probably would curse you out. Okay? I'm just saying. Especially if you took it back far enough. She definitely was going to curse you out.
There's a lot of things that happened.
Since I made that decision
4 years ago.
Right, exactly. So since 4 years ago for you, right? 3.5 for me. It's like as soon as you make that decision, don't you notice that everybody comes out of the wood? Every opportunity somebody has to get smart with you, don't they get smart with you? Don't they just try your patience?
I don't know. I don't have that.
You don't have that. But that's probably because that's who you were already. No, that's who you were already.
But no.
Were you nuck if you buck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely all that.
So how did you transform from nuck if you buck? What moved you?
Because you know what? In that period of time where I say I was growing, where I was in that stage where I was moving from a diet aide to a cook, and all that, and I was in that growing and learning stage and wanting to see and do more in my life.
Right.
Somebody pulled me in the hallway.
And
he said, "Tonya, you'll never grow until you learn how to talk to people." And I'm like, get the fuck out of my face.
I was about to say you received that? No. I was about to say. Okay, so go ahead.
I did not receive that.
Okay, they said that to you and you said
that until I heard a manager talk to me in a way that I didn't like, that I didn't approve of. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna be the manager that I always wanted. And so that's what I strive to be. But with that being said, you learn how to address certain situations.
Right.
Because a lot of times, and this is something that her and I go back and forth with, is how you talk to somebody. You feel what I'm saying? And just how you present things is the feedback that you'll get.
Right.
You understand? Like,
that's very true.
Yeah, like if she sees something at work and it's like, oh, you can't do that like that. That's the wrong way she's right. And she has every right in her position to correct that person that way.
Right.
But guess what? They didn't receive it. And they didn't receive it because of how you came at them.
Right. You said you catch more flies with honey.
So then if you come and say, you know what? Why don't the next time you do it this way? they're going to be like, oh, for real, well, then what else I could do? They'll receive it, and they'll be more willing and open to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't get that. Man, you've been working together for, 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Almost? She didn't get that till a couple months ago. She didn't get that till a couple months ago because I had to keep. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of.
Is that because you don't have a lot of patience?
It's not that I don't have a lot of patience, but how can I say this? I got out of cooking in 5-star restaurants and hotels and stuff because I feel like people these cooks get in this business and start cooking at these nursing homes and assisted livings,
right?
And just want to give these people the bare minimum,
right? Yeah.
No effort, no
nothing. Let me explain something to you. A resident with dementia is going to be the best critic you ever have.
Yeah,
because their
food is something they don't forget.
Yeah,
their mental
is
like it's like a child,
right? Yeah,
and it's. They pass judgment without a blind eye.
Right, yeah.
Their love, their words, everything is unconditional.
Yeah.
They have no filter.
Yeah.
So just because this person is in that bed and can't move, or this person is not going to know that you gave them a hamburger 2 hours ago, does not mean that you're not going to cook the best goddamn hamburger that they ever had.
Right.
Like, and she'll tell you, I go in for these residents.
Yeah, but again,
and I just feel like if
you got, so that's where is it that shit, her passion overflowing there? Is that what it is?
Okay, and I'm a Virgo.
Sometimes
you're not about to play in my face.
Sometimes it's
hard.
It's her passion, but I think that you can still get your point across without being so aggressive.
Mine, what I mean is, mine is more. So when I'm tested or when people like pluck me, used to just like, pluck. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be like
you're gonna be that one that take it too far. Like my friends,
I would try to catch them before.
Never, ever, ever, ever get in a pissing match with me because you know
it would
be the one that's going to take it too far.
And I'm gonna be the one that's gonna make you even madder. Because my piece is more important than you being made. That's mine. So look,
we'll just be going. Oh, that's what I mean. And it used to be so like, so people used to catch me, right? Because I've always been very nice, but I was very nice, and other people, she said they will try to be fired up. That's right, Alicia. But I try to, I've always been very nice, but people will, the more nice you are, that's when people come at you crazy. So I'd be like, hey, what's your name? And people would be like, shut the hell up, and I'll be like, you love us like that.
You know what makes me mad? This is what makes me mad when somebody try to come at you. Like, how are you gonna come at me when your curtains is your son's Spider-Man sheets? Like, no. How are you gonna come? Like, don't do that, because if you wear the wrong shoes or kick your bed the wrong way, it's gonna go flat. Like, you are in no predicament. Like, I want you to stick your hands in your pants and scratch yourself and smell it. Like, are you in any predicament to speak to me that way?
Did you say you can't have sharp objects in your bed?
Right. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't talk to me crazy when your house ain't in order. I feel you on that.
Like,
though.
we not about to do that.
So you telling me, Tonya, you haven't been like that for a long time?
Yeah, really.
No, that's really good.
In the 3 years that I've known her,
that's really good.
I can't say that I've ever heard her yell.
That's a good.
Now
thing
I've seen her get upset because I know her personally, so I know what it's like when she gets upset. But yelling, screaming, no.
And also now.
Oh, you can't yell, can you?
Yeah.
You can't yell. Look at God blessing you. That's right. God blessed you with a peace.
She whispers with an attitude.
A peace beyond.
Yes, and
oh my gosh, Tonya.
And look, I can't yell. I got real high blood pressure. Let me tell you something. Listen, me getting upset is a detriment to my health. So you can go right over here and stomp, scream, and kick and be mad, but guess what?
That's
right. You still mad.
See,
I ain't even mad.
We gotta wrap it up on that note. That was beautiful. I love having you all. I hope you all reach out to them definitely on Delano's Hearts LLC on Facebook and other platforms. And we're going to start posting more, right? Isn't that correct? We're going to start posting more. There will be more updates. You all definitely book them. Closest out, I'm going to go to, well, no, there's a new video up that I wanted to show you all today, but we kind of ran out of time because we had some sound issues in the beginning. But go over to Lavish Conversations and check out the behind the scenes for the concert series for the Junkyard Band at the Wizards Cleveland game we went to, and it was a very great show. I'm going to see if I can bring it up. I don't think we can, and I don't think we have time for it, but I will try to do that at the end here after we play our closing. What do you call it? My theme song. Yeah.
Hey, look, let me talk my talk. Let me speak my piece. It's for all my dogs. Coming straight off the leash. She kill them all like the Reaper. I need a girl like Nikki. She jumping out the gym on all them hoes. Shorty came straight out the bleachers. Hey, she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, she came through with the combo. Cause shorty too lavish. Hey, that girl she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, look, she came straight with the combo. Hey, look, let me talk my talk. Let me speak my piece. It's for all my dogs. Coming straight off the leash. She kill them all like the Reaper. I need a girl like Nikki. She jumping out the gym on all them hoes. Shorty came straight out the bleachers. Hey, she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, she came through with the combo. Cause shorty too lavish. Hey, that girl she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, look, she came straight with the combo. Hey.
All right, I'm going to play this, I think.
This was nice. I like this.
Yeah, this was great. I liked it. I had fun. I knew it was going to be a good conversation, though, after hearing about, your company and your story. Your story is crazy.
This is Nikki. I'm here at the Cavalier Wizards game with T-Bob of the Junkyard Band. Hey, T-Bob.
Yes, how y'all doing today? Good to see y'all out there. Yes, tonight.
How you feeling?
Cool, man. I can't do it. I can't call it. I'm just in my zone right now.
So, why do you think that go-go and sports go hand in hand?
The topics and stuff for everything here too.
I think it's the momentum from us.
Right, and so we look forward to seeing you further. And what's your social media real quick for us?
Levert Cole at Levert Cole 76. That's the Instagram, and then you just look me up, Levert Cole.
Oh, yo, shit, you said your boots came.
That's right. Thank you so much.
I'm talking about.
Hey, you guys, it's Mika, and I'm here with.
I can.
How you doing today?
I'm chilling.
So, how important is the sound to any event?
I would love to have you all out again. Maybe we could do a cooking show or something.
Without the sound, you never hear the band.
Oh, what are you saying, right? Not the band, not this interview, not anything.
So sound is important, but my job is just to amplify the band.
Because I can come to wherever and I can stream from there.
No, you make it so that we can hear it.
There you go. That's it.
So, what do you think is the best thing about this concert series?
Oh, let me know.
That they give arena.
I love it. Let's take a picture together.
Thousands of people
Who may not necessarily know what go-go is,
Yep.
right?
So tonight they're gonna get two of the best, junkyard and backyard, the yard party.
Yes, that's awesome. These people didn't even know they were coming to a yard party, did they?
At all.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
where can people follow you if they want to get the good sound?
The crankbrothers.com. That'll work.
Shout out to the crankbrothers.com. Hey, you guys, it's Mika, and I'm here with Dog of Junkyard Band. Hey, Dog.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey.
How are you doing today, first of all?
I'm here. Just
Well, we're happy you're here. Blessed and highly favored?
Of course. I've been running around here for some years now, so I'm just blessed to still be here.
That's right. So why do you think sports and go hand in hand?
I think, number one, go-go is a crowd response, and it's a sport, too, for us, you know what I'm saying? We respond from the crowd, you know what I'm saying, like sports. You shoot a three-pointer, everybody gets hyped.
Thank you. That was great.
Crowd response type of ordeal. So they work together, you know what I'm saying? If y'all like go says, take me out to see Joey, or crowd gonna say it.
Yeah,
so
that's
more,
true.
Like a response. That's how I look at it.
I love that, definitely. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So what do you think about the concert series? What are your thoughts on
They need to do more of it and do it just not here at the Verizon Center. Let's take it into other schools.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And where can people follow you before we go?
Oh, you always Lord Dog. You know what I'm saying? Lord Dog. Just check me out. Everybody know how to find me. Social media, Instagram. Y'all know how to find me. Oh, each and every Friday, Urban Crab. Let me plug it.
Each and every Friday, Urban Crab. See them there. Hey, Big Youngin. So are you enjoying the game?
Absolutely.
What do you think ties go-go and basketball together?
They both have passionate fans, people who pretty much love the game. And you have people who love go-go, and you're in DC. Perfect mix.
I love that. You love the Wizards or you just love DC?
I love everything about DC, so I love the Wizards.
Shout out to JYB. Thank you, Big Young. Hey, you guys, it's Mika, and I'm here with Junkyard Bo Chill. How you doing?
So far so good.
So are you enjoying your first in-person live game?
No, I'm enjoying all the free food that's in this room right here so far.
What are you looking forward to most this evening, though?
That the Wizards win so I can hush this guy up over here that, we're not having it with the Cavaliers.
Hold up. Who's cheering for the Cavaliers in here?
This guy next to me right here, put it over there.
And the Lakers.
So what do you think makes go-go and basketball or go-go and sports so hand in hand?
Togetherness.
I love that. I really do. That was a good answer.
Togetherness.
And what do you think makes you be the best you can be every day?
Shoot, just waking up.
All right. Hey, you guys, it's Mika, and I'm here at the Wizards Cavaliers game at the concert series with...
Hey, DUGGS, JYB. I know what it is.
Are y'all about to kill it?
You already know. That's what we come to do.
Love the yard party. So are y'all ready to surprise these new people who haven't ever been exposed to go-go music?
Right. If you ain't never been to heard no go-go music, this is a spot you want to be out of towners. You know what I'm talking about?
That's what's up. And what do you think makes go-go and sports in hand?
Energy.
I think that's
the energy. Yeah, it's the energy.
I appreciate you. And where can we find you?
Hey, you can find me at BUGGS on Facebook, Stephen Hearn on Facebook, on Instagram, Stephen Hearn on Instagram.
Hey, you guys, it's Mika, and I'm here with...
Funky Stuff Wink, Junkyard Band.
And how are you feeling today?
I'm okay.
Are you excited about this concert series?
I'm just used to it. 45 years of doing this. Mm-hmm. It's a job, that's all.
It's a lifestyle at this point, isn't it?
It's work, that's all.
As long as it has to pay too, right?
It works, that's all.
That's right. So what do you think is so awesome about the yard party, and what do you think everybody's reaction is going to be when they hear all these people who may have never heard go-go before, because there's a few of them in here, right? Yeah. What you think they're going to respond like? How you think they're going to feel? What's their automatic reaction?
They're going to absorb that energy, mm-hmm. and then they're going to know what it is from here on out.
That's what's up. So what makes Junkyard so amazing in your opinion? Or do you know?
Consistency, man. We've been here for 45 years, mm-hmm. and we still going. Mm-hmm. And we have our inspirational little brothers backyard that keep us grounded. So we good, man. We have our one big family yard. That's all it is.
Here we go. You always got a nice seat, a nice spot. I'm telling you, y'all talk all the time. Let that drink go. But wait a minute. Woo! Very good. Come on, come on. Gotta do it on down on my 4 right quick. One time,